If you were an avid fan of television music and movies the way that I was during the 80s, then these two should be pretty darn familiar to you. Valerie Bertinelli and Eddie Van Halen seem to be everywhere. Valerie was one of the stars of the hit TV show One Day at a Time, along with Bonnie Franklin, Mackenzie Phillips, and Pat Harrington. And I knew that she was going to be a big star for a long time because she had made an appearance on the cover of Dynamite magazine. This magazine, like no other, had the uncanny ability of forecasting fame and fortune. And when she fell in love with rocker Eddie Van Halen, well, her appearances in magazines just seemed to exponentially multiply. I was a big fan of his music, and of course a big fan of Valerie as well, so this was indeed a match made in Hollywood heaven. And of course the press would be all over the relationship. Valerie hit the big time with interviews in Us and People magazine, and at this point Valerie was still working on One Day at a Time as well. The show was in its final seasons, but as you can see, Valerie mania was in full swing. Later on, the press would seem to revel in some of the trials that she and Eddie faced. Valerie's marriage to Eddie lasted more than 2 decades before it finally fell apart, and despite their highs and lows, I truly get the feeling that she didn't regret a moment of her time with Eddie, and of course their union gave them a great blessing in the form of a son. Wolfgang Van Halen is Eddie and Valerie's only child, and as such, they cherished their years as Wolfie's parents and did their very best to teach the importance of being kind and always trying to do the right thing. In a recent interview on NBC's Today Show, Valerie called Wolfgang her greatest gift. And as a parent myself, I know exactly what she means. In that same interview, Valerie said that she and Eddie had reached a beautiful place prior to his passing in 2020. She elaborated by saying, "We weren't really good to each other at a lot of points in our lives because we met so young and were very immature, but I'm so happy that we were able to come to a beautiful place before the end of his life. I wish he were still here." In her new book, Enough Already, Valerie writes that the love they had for each other proved stronger and more resilient than anything else. She says they chose to remain friends and family, which explains why Wolfgang and Valerie were by Eddie's side during his final moments. According to Valerie, Eddie's final words to them were, "I love you," and they both assured him that he was loved as well. Man, I sure miss this dude. I love the music of Van Halen. You put this guy in the room with David Lee Roth, Michael Anthony, Sammy Hagar, or his brother Alex, or any combination of those fellers, and you get magic. Alright, now it's your turn. Please share your memories in the comments section, and while you're at it, I'd love a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and I'd be honored if you would consider subscribing to my channel. I talk about music, movies, and mostly TV from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. You know, the good stuff. But most importantly, and as always, thank you so much for watching.